Okay. Well, how about we just go straight in?
Yeah.
Where have you been? Because the last time we had you on, you were powerlifting. The last time we had.
I was also going to say, I literally am the very first guest you guys have ever had as well.
Yeah.
It's just like anniversary.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. No tea, no biscuits, no refreshments, no nothing. Just raw dogging
Just
it.
12 bagels and 10 portions of Nando's. Where have you been?
Been everywhere. Been in Nottingham I think for 6 months last year. Yeah. And then I was just like, I just want to be free for a bit, travel the world. So I went to Tokyo, then went to Germany. That was for a brand trip. And then I was in Portugal because I just wanted some winter sun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I actually didn't mean to name it the Atlas. I meant like
what have you been doing?
What have you been
doing? Yeah. So flexed, I'm well travelled. What have I been doing? That's a good question because it's hard for me to even answer that when people say it, because so many people ask like, are you still powerlifting? What are you doing now? And like with the whole Gladiators thing, I had to keep it quiet for so long. So part of me kind of forgot about it because it's like when you can't speak about something, it's like, did it actually happen? It's not coming out, just put it out of your head. I've generally just been chilling. I feel like 2024 was like a very busy time. Like a lot was going on. Powerlifting did Arnold's at the start of the year with you guys.
Yeah.
Unreal performance.
By us
we
too.
put a world record total up there.
Yeah, it's our world record.
Man, we didn't have much to work with, but we fucking...
We
still
got
stands
the best.
as well.
It was like drawing blood from a stone.
That was a great experience. That was definitely a high, like a world record, which is insane. And then when these things happen as well, so after like Arnold's, I think there was a bit of traveling. I think I went to the US for the first time, then ended up going again on a brand trip, and like all this stuff was happening and I didn't have the time to process it. Like there was never a moment where I could just sit back and be like, I've done all this stuff. I was just next thing. So I think the last few months of the year, especially when I left for Portugal before all of this stuff starts coming out, I was just like, let me just actually I have done stuff. Do you know what I mean? When you're an overachiever, I feel like you're just always looking forwards, and sometimes you just have to sit and be like, wow, I've achieved stuff. Like a world record is insane. Like this isn't me being cocky, because I feel like I just like, yeah, I have a world record.
If I said a world record, I would be much
Get tattooed on my forehead.
Because I have it pinned on my Instagram. I was just looking at stuff, looking for content ideas, and I was like, because I can't lift any of those numbers. Well, deadlift, I can. Yeah. The other two, I'm just like, because when you can't do it anymore, you really appreciate it. You're like, that's 245 kilos I'm put on my back and just squat and move so well. And I think it was a good place to end it, because I think powerlifting is a trap, right? Quit while you're ahead. Quit while you're ahead. Definitely quit. Oh, wait. I forgot. Have a good comp.
Speak your truth. Come on.
Have a good comp. And then...
Wait, sorry.
Sorry.
Just in case your hair is like on the mic. It might be totally
Imagine.
fine. Just in case.
But then I did know about... I'm trying to think of the timeline now. I knew about Gladiator, so I went for trials before Arnold's or after? I think after Arnold's. So again... didn't really say much about it. I was like going for the trials.
Are you able to tell us what the trials are?
I think so. If not, we can cut it out. But it was, and this is what made me have the decision, because before I even got the job, I quit powerlifting, because I was like, this whole other world of just athleticism and like training and stuff. So basically it was like in a track and field arena type thing.
Was Paul Mescal there?
Paul Mescal. Oh.
What?
He's sexy.
Did I miss something?
Gladiator, the really popular movie.
Wait, I'm getting you confused with someone else. No,
Me? I'm not Paul Mescal.
You actually kind of look like him.
Is that the Spanish guy?
Spanish?
Or the Irish guy? The Irish guy.
Yeah, he's Irish.
Yeah, he's Irish.
Yeah. He's good looking.
Nice.
National treasure.
He doesn't look like you. Never mind.
Let's hold on to it. Okay.
Yes, anyway, so it was like all these basically tests to not just test like your strength, but your endurance, your power output. So there's stuff like burpees onto a box and then down in a minute. And then max pull-ups, holds. Then there was like how far you can jump, like vertical jump, producing power.
Yeah, I'm definitely not becoming a gladiator.
There was like climbing a rope, climbing a rope. And then there was this sick thing where you're in a center, and it's very much gladiator centric, and you're holding pads and you have to push someone out of it. And I was like, that came last as well. I thought they were doing it. I was like, what are we doing the physical stuff? I was like, why are we getting physical?
Yeah.
Put me in the ring.
Beat someone up. Man, the other girls hate to see you. I know the other girls hate to see you coming.
Can't lie. And like there was Olympic athletes there. Yeah. And to be like a powerlifter. See, I felt misleading saying I was a powerlifter because they were expecting, powerlifter, like, you can lift heavy. But everyone loved, like, I told them I could squat 245. Everyone went mad. They were like, she can squat. Tell them how much you can squat. I was like,
that's mad. Like, everyone's reaction.
But I feel like you're so desensitized to anything, even if it's amazing. I feel like the person who probably like Albert Einstein, he's probably like, E equals MC squared. It's not that deep. Do you know what I mean? You're desensitized to it, even though it's like sick to other people. And it just reminds you, and they thought it was so sick. And then someone said to me, she's like, you're not really a powerlifter though, are you? I was like, yeah, not really. Because like I was fast, like I won most of the challenges. Nice. So I knew I could definitely do it. And like, one thing that was important for them as well was like a character. So even if you were good at that stuff, you still needed to have the character. Jeez, it's the easiest part. Like, easiest part, have it all. Went to the interview, and she did like a thing on tape where they ask you questions. I'm just giving it socks, being my charming self. I was like, I probably did get this. Do you know what I mean? But again, I don't know what they're looking for either. But I knew, like, based off of that, I was like, if you don't make me one, then the show's off. And then after doing that, I was like, I can actually do other things. Like, strength is just such a small facet of fitness and like athleticism. Yeah. Like even just climbing the rope and getting to do like the sprints and stuff, I was like, that's sick. And it makes you feel alive. And then I was just like, yeah, it just made me fall out of love with powerlifting and how like regimented and repetitive it is. So then I had to break up with my coach. Which was I remember having conversations with you because it was something that was holding me back because I felt like if I did it, I would be doing it for him because I loved my coach and he was obviously so invested, and that's always a difficult conversation to have. Like, I've fallen out of love with the sport that you still love and you have so many expectations for me. But again, I'm the one who has to live my life. And he understood that as well. Like, anyone should understand that. It's a red flag if they don't.
Did you have a big discussion about it?
Yeah, it was like a breakup text, man.
Really?
Man, I hate break.
You couldn't even call or see him in person?
He lives in the US. He lives in the US.
Yeah, but how much do you care?
Not enough. Breakup text, man, never want to do that. It feels so bad for some reason. It's just sad. It is sad because they've invested so much in you, and I know what it's like to be a coach as well. Especially when you have a good athlete. It's like, we were talking about Sheffield. Like, I would have a good squat session. I'm like, Sean, I'm going to Sheffield 2025. Don't even buy a ticket because like conversations like that, then the next day it's like, actually, I don't want to do that anymore. So I knew for a while, and it was mad because I couldn't tell anyone the reason for it. And then obviously the beef with Chelsea started beforehand.
Oh yeah.
So then, again, this is what I talked about on the old podcast episode. So everyone thought I was like scared of her or something. And I couldn't say anything. Like, I literally just had to be like, I didn't say anything until the last like second. Because everyone was like, people were texting me like, so excited to see you. I was like, yo, Loki, whoa. Don't know what to tell you there. Yeah. So then I had to say something. And then I just put out a kind of not cryptic, but I was just like, I can't really do it.
Yeah, everyone thought you were in like, in the pits. Like,
the messages I got, they were like, I hope you're okay. Because I didn't really give a reason. To me, I was just texting on my phone, wherever. But like, everyone was like, whoa, I hope something didn't happen, da-da-da-da.
For pulling out of Junior World.
Yeah, like last minute as well. Because I couldn't do both. There was no way I was doing both. I was missing out on like a full month of training, like 2 weeks before the comp. It's not happening. Yeah. Didn't want to do it anyway. And there was no competition. So I was like, why would I put myself through?
Still fire with the food.
But like, it's not smoke if it's true. Everyone's getting like, beef. But when did I lie once? Do you know what I mean? Okay. Who has the world record? She didn't even total 600.
Gosh,
you man are gonna. It's just the facts. She didn't hit 600. All this smoke about blah blah blah. Anyway, wasting my time. Child's play.
Did you ever talk to her after the competition?
Oh, this is getting deep. No, we haven't. So I don't know if this can go in the pod, but she.
Mike's on.
It started off friendly. Yeah. Then she hit. We decided like there was parameters to what we could say. Like obviously when we were DMing, there was stuff we were saying like this is incriminating because we're going after other people, but we're not getting other people involved. It's just between us, and obviously there's parameters to what we're saying. Again, this is my job, so like how I'm perceived on socials is important. Mm-hmm. And then she kind of crossed the line with something she said that really pissed me off, and I was just like, okay, cool, I can see where your head is. Like you're just being a prick now, so I'm not going to participate.
And your deadlift locker isn't even that bad.
See how you brought that up?
Yeah.
Do you see the 200 I pulled today?
I did.
Something she always said as well. She said my deadlift from Arnold's was like a grind. What was the grind?
Oh, she got you.
It's just cinema, isn't it? Cinema. But yeah, I haven't talked to her since.
Okay.
Yeah, just no need. Got a bit childish. So yeah, what was the question?
Well, you were at the point where you had pulled out of Worlds and you're getting a load of messages because you were 2 weeks out. You would have been missing a month. Why?
Say that again. Sorry.
We're at the point in the story
Yeah.
where 2 weeks out from Worlds,
Yeah.
you were going to be missing a month. So you pulled out because you didn't want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
What was that month?
I didn't even. No, the thing is, people think I pulled out. I didn't, because I never actually accepted my invite, because that's a huge thing. But again, that's for me, for how I decided to explain it. And I couldn't go into detail without saying anything, so I just tried to make it super vague. And I thought I was coming across as, oh, she just didn't do it. And there's so many, are you okay? I said, I'm fine, living my best life. But it's fair for people to assume that. And it was really touching. I was like, whoa, this many people care? Didn't think it was that deep, do you know what I mean? And people were so invested in the beef. That was another thing. I actually felt bad, because like we created this, and it was hilarious. I laugh at it when I think about it, because the timing with the Kanye and the Kendrick, and everyone loved it. It was just funny. Like it was nice, like to do something different. I always love doing something different. Yeah. And I always had wanted someone to have that kind of banter with. But just couldn't find anyone, and she was like game, and she didn't take anything too personally, and then she just kind of went left a bit. So it's probably why people don't do that. But yeah, it was sick to see like the support, because again, it's a very small sport. People aren't actually there on the day, so you don't think anyone really cares about powerlifting, but they do. You know, like there's so many people watching that probably would never even like text you or say it, but like they're just like, you know, I love watching you, inspiring, which is crazy. It's almost overwhelming, because then there was a sense of, wait, I feel like people need me to powerlift. I know that sounds like real like pretentious, like, but even when I went to New York, again, I didn't think people cared too much, and everyone was like, oh, I got into lifting because of you, or like, when are you coming back to the stage? I can't wait to see your next comp. And I was like, yo, it's mad. Very weird feeling, very, very weird. Obviously grateful. It's like people actually care. Do you know what I mean? And then it felt like it was a greater purpose, and I decided not to do it anyway. But yeah, it was very touching. But again, I'm not one to make decisions based off of other people. Like, again, I'm the one who has to live my life, and if that doesn't give me enjoyment, it's not going to give enjoyment to anyone else. It's not going to give enjoyment to my coach. Like, that would have caused like other things. I would have been lazy with training just because my heart's not in it anymore. I don't want to put him through that, because he was like, oh, we'll just do this one that you're prepping for and then leave it. But I was like, I can't lie, my heart's just not there anymore. And for me, anything, whether it's, I was going to say Gladiators, I'm on contract, can't really leave, but if I just don't feel like my heart's in it, then I can't do it. Because I'm 100 or 0. Like, it's either I'm here and doing it or I'm not. So that's another reason why I don't want to half-ass training. Do you know what I mean? All in, yeah.
So how long ago was it that you actually decided you were done with powerlifting? From where we are now?
Probably, I know it was February, wasn't it?
March, I think.
It was between March and April, I'd say.
Wow.
And that's when I sent the
Pretty
text to
soon after
Sean.
the competition.
Yeah, so I kind of knew, basically. Good place to end. It was a good comp. I think after the comp, since it went well, I was kind of like, I'm thinking of leaving. Yeah, I'm actually satisfied with that competition. Yeah. Well, after...
Got a world record, I guess.
I wasn't initially happy, but then after you like get out of the whole like emotional thinking and like the hype of everything happening, you're like, it's a good performance, to be fair.
It wasn't bad, like.
Yeah, good comp video after as well. It's a sick comp video. I watch that back all the time. Yeah. Actually, I actually cried watching it once, because like, it's so sick to like dedicate yourself to something and then just see it work out. You know, that's really nice. I've actually cried at every international I've ever been to, which is funny. The first 2 times were panic attacks because I was so angry about my performances, and then the last time, tears of joy. So, progression. Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot there. So it's been like 9 months since you stopped. Do you miss it?
9 months? Don't miss it. Okay, the first while I didn't miss it at all. Like, I knew it was the right decision. If I make a decision, then it's the right one. But I was like, oh, man, I would think to myself, I'm so glad I'm not doing it anymore. Because again, I'm 23. I want to travel the world. Like, that's something I do. And when you're powerlifting, it makes you almost not want to travel. It's like, how am I putting off traveling and experiencing the world and meeting people just because I want like the right bar to train at and I'm on week 4 and I can't leave? I love being free, and I hated how it was restricting me a lot. The only thing I do miss about it is obviously lifting heavy and getting all the like views from everyone. Like, oh, you're so strong! And now struggling with 200, nothing to post anymore. But the aesthetic of powerlifting is sick as well, and the community. That's a huge thing. Like, I'm still very much part of the community. If there's an event, I'll come, and like if you guys are training, I'll just like do my lift, and then because that's sick. I do like the aesthetic, like, oh man, wearing your singlet on SPD days and like doing your I miss that for sure, because powerlifters just know how to do like the aesthetic. Can't really do that in any other sport because you're actually like
You're on a field, you know.
you actually have to train with other sports. You know what I mean? Powerlifting, your
Crazy.
hair doesn't get messed up or anything like that. Like when you're sprinting, you just put your hair up and you just kind of get it done because everything's gonna sweat off anyway. But no disrespect, but yeah, I'd say that's the 3 things I miss.
You mentioned that for the first 2 internationals that you were having like panic attacks because the performance went so bad.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because that's crazy. Because just to give a little bit more context, like you like dominate almost everything that you have done.
Yeah.
That even surprised me that you said that there. I'm curious to know more about that.
I think, as I said before, when you're a very high achieving person, because I've had these conversations with people, you hold yourself to like a stupid high standard. So like stuff that would impress other people, it's like, okay, cool, that's just ticked off. Do you know what I mean? There's a bigger goal. So like if I come first, not to be that person, I expected to come first. And I worked hard to come first, so I should get it. Not that the world owes me something, but I put in the work to come first, right? In this situation. So for me, that's not even a goal. It's just something to tick off. And the bigger thing is, say, like in my head, I was thinking more so towards like hitting a record at that point. I don't even really remember the first competition. So then naturally there's disappointment because you didn't achieve that. And you cannot see that you've come first and it's this amazing thing because your expectation was so high. I don't necessarily think there was a problem with that. That in and of itself isn't why I had the panic attack. It's because of, I don't know, like you just give so much to this sport and then you kind of get this low after competing. You're like, I did all of that just for that like 10 seconds. And it's like, wow, I feel like I've just committed so much and like given up on specific things just for that. And that's all that there is. And you're disappointed.
Yeah.
And I had too much caffeine. Generally, I literally don't take caffeine because it heightens all those emotions. And I took loads because again, at that point, I was so bad at deadlifts, and I was just like, I thought caffeine was like, I had some magic power or something. I was like, get as much caffeine in, fail the lift anyway. So now I'm left with this caffeine rush, and then everything just comes down. And then it's just that one person to be like, are you okay? Which is Jay. He had to deal with that every single time. He's just like, are you okay? And he's there just trying to comfort me. And I'm like, I'm sad, it's fine. But like, and he's just there and it's just, yeah. And I feel like, you've disappointed your coach as well. You haven't. But it feels like you have. Do you know what I mean? And he's obviously telling me, no, you haven't. Obviously, I'm so proud. And then after a while, you look back and you're like, oh, I did well. Do you know what I mean?
Having had so much time pass now and so many more experiences, powerlifting and everything, would you go back and say anything to younger Lystus about those experiences? Because
that's a good question.
I know that some of those thoughts are irrational, and you even said it was an emotional feeling. It was the high feeling, but even just around expectations and the kind of possibility for disappointment and things, just...
No, definitely not in terms of like my mindset and stuff. Like it was very extreme, but I think it was fairly reasonable. I'd probably just say take less caffeine, to be honest. It didn't help. It definitely, honestly, that's probably the only thing I would say, like, you don't need that. It didn't do anything. And like, if you're taking that much caffeine, like, when there's 4 people left to go before you, it hasn't even absorbed yet, do you know what I mean? And you're just left, because you just think it's just, that's what people do you know what I mean? That's gonna help. Failed it anyway. And then I think as well, this is the pain about being a subtotal specialist. You always end the comp on a bad note. I could out squat Russ, but if I fail my last deadlift, the whole comp is like, it's the last thing you remember. She's like, it's just so annoying because everything else can go perfectly and then you just fail this, and it's annoying, man. It's just annoying.
You mentioned a really big topic of how you have this moment of, I worked so hard like for this one moment, and then you're like, was that it? I've always found that topic interesting.
I know what you're going to say.
of like having such high stakes on the outcome, that the outcome is so important and that the outcome is going to make us like so happy if we get it, and then oftentimes it doesn't actually make you that happy. I'm interested in that. Is that something that you experience in like all avenues that you do? That you like put a lot of pressure to be this like really high achiever and be super successful, but like does the success often make you happier now?
Why? That's a very good question. And I feel like why I got so upset in those situations is more so because like my whole mindset is just like, you work hard, and my dad always used to tell me, you work hard, you will reap the rewards of it. And that's just like principle to me. Do you know what I mean? So then I was like, this is how I think. I was like, wait, I've worked so hard and I didn't get what I want. So like my whole belief system is now like, yeah, exactly. Like, what do I believe in? And you just spiral on all these thoughts. And I was just like, that was the thing I remember in, what was it, Romania, I think? The second time I had the like panic attack. It was all those like emotions rushing in, just being like, I did work hard though. Like I don't feel like I could have worked any harder. So why didn't I get like what I want? And then again, it is the massive expectation and stuff. And with other things, it's like, I used to be like very academic. Like I literally work hard, I will get 100%. Like I can't not get 100% if I put in all the work. With powerlifting, there's so many other factors. And it's that thing of like, you're not fully in control, because they tell you when to compete. With women as well, you have like your period, and that can completely change the whole experience for you. Flying, not that affects me too much, cutting, all that kind of thing, does affect us. You feel kind of out of control, which I don't like. It's something I'm fine with now because things happen. But just all those thoughts coming, being like, wow, I just don't really feel in control of anything. And all those like emotions kind of rushing down at one time. And then all other stuff I don't remember at this point, but like just all crashing down, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And if you do get the goal or the outcome that you set out for yourself, does that make you happy? Like if you get 100%, or if you get the lift or the record, like does that give you?
It's not the 100% in itself. It's the fact that like I literally dedicated myself to this, and look what I've achieved. Do you know what I mean? It's like validating. It's like you do something hard and you work hard at it. It's like I can do more hard things. It's that sense of like fulfillment from doing it. I think more so.
Even
now,
though
anyway.
If you win world championships, you could still be disappointed there.
Yeah.
So it could still be the case of look what I've achieved, but you're still disappointed.
Yeah. Because I think you can feel multiple things at once as well. Now I think I can think less one-dimensionally. But like when you're younger as well, it's your whole world, isn't it? And like people make it your whole world, and there's outside pressures, there's your coach and all this stuff, and it's just your whole world. Like you think it's going to be on the news, like worlds, everyone's going to know, and they don't. But it is just your whole world. So even if like something slightly wrong goes, like it does really rattle you. And then when you have high expectations as well and you don't get them, that's a whole other thing. And then you're just like, wow, this kind of felt like a waste of time, low key. Like you're thinking about that. You're like, oh, my coach, I feel so bad. And even though you're like, no, but you can't think that way, but still, I still feel it. And just everything crashing down at once, do you know what I mean? And then it's just the end of like a prep. Because prep is, I hate peaking so much. Worst 4 weeks ever, genuinely hate peaking. Never enjoyed it. Usually because I have to like eat more or eat less. Like I've always had to like push the calories even further. Or when I was starting out, like eat less. So you're already like irritable and just like, I just want this to be over. But then now it is over. Do you know what I mean? So just everything crashing down. I think right now I'm much different, because I do think a bit more like comprehensively, like with my emotions and stuff, and like how I perceive success, for sure. But even with Arnold's, I think there was growth there as well, because I realized life isn't that deep. And I was kind of upset at the start, because I remember like there was specific things I wanted to achieve, and it was just like, you didn't, so what are you going to do? Do you know what I mean?
You only got the world record. The European record squat.
Yeah, that was cool. If I didn't get that, I would have been pissed. Well, yeah, and the reason why as well, I think if it was like a recent world record, it wouldn't have been as deep to me. But the fact that this was for 8 years is like cool. And the fact that it was in a weight class where like I'm much lighter than the person who said it, like much lighter. So I think for me, like that's really cool. It's like, wow, you've done something that probably not many people have done, even if they have a world record. So that's sick.
What are you most proud of from what you achieved in powerlifting?
The 8 years thing. I think that's like, it's really cool. Because 8 years is a long time. Like people didn't get close to it. And now like I'm forcing myself to eat so I can get it. And like I look like, I think why people were really like interested in like my journey and so specifically was because the whole thing of, because people still talk about it, like the new weight classes, and like clearly you're not an 84 plus, but then you're too big for the 84s. And it's like getting jacked, bigger, stronger, that whole like storyline was cool. So to get the world record regardless of like my weight, was sick because I think the girl before me that got it, she was Russian and she weighed like 150 kilos or something. So to break it at like that much body weight lighter, I think like that's sick.
It is sick.
Personally.
Outside of powerlifting,
yeah,
what makes you proud of yourself?
Mental resilience, I would say. That's something I really do like admire about myself, because I feel like, I don't know, stuff is hard. Like I don't like to show it either. Like again, as a person who's like hyper independent and like high achiever and stuff, like you do get disappointed about stuff and like just, I don't know, it's just like what is worth it. But like the fact that like I keep going and like I do just love what I do generally, I think that does help. But like the fact that I can just like bounce back from things and just like take time, and I do know what my limits are as well. I know when to rest and stuff like that. Like I don't think I'm like I don't like listen to reason or anything like that. But yeah, the fact that I can like, you know, at one point I was like very academic, and then I just decided to do this completely different thing. And then even within like the struggles with that and like bulking, and then even dealing with like things like gaining weight and stuff, like always, I don't know, always being able to push forward like in my mind and still believing like I can achieve anything. Do you know what I mean?
Why don't you like to show it? You mentioned there.
Because I'm a hard man.
You're a hard man. You mentioned overachiever a lot. That is obviously part of like your self-identity, how you portray yourself as an overachiever. What does it mean to you to be an overachiever, and does showing that you're struggling threaten the identity of being an overachiever?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm not putting that on you. I don't mean to. I'm curious if I'm right in saying that. I
think probably as a woman, to be taken seriously, I feel like you do have to have, like, you have to be a bit harder. Do you know what I mean? Because people will try to, like, walk over you. Okay. And I feel like you have to have a strong sense of identity to get what you want as well. Because you, especially as a black woman as well. Because people, I think there is, like, a social hierarchy, right? If we're going to get into that. And I think, like, say, white male at the top, no one really questions what he says. Like, it's always, like, I don't want to speak too generally about this, but, like, I feel like there is a level to things. And then to be heard, you do have to, like, have a sense of, like, because I have been in experiences, especially, like, can I say that, where I trained in that specific world. Like, I've seen it, you know, I've experienced it where, like, if a girl doesn't speak up, then people will say they'll just create whatever narrative they want to suit their own agendas, right? So I feel like, for me, it's, I don't want to say showing weakness is a bad thing, because I don't believe that anymore. But I feel like to be taken seriously, you do have to be a bit more, like, firm.
A balance.
Of course.
Between being vulnerable and being strong despite the vulnerability.
Yeah.
How does that balance work for you?
I think with my friends, like, we chat about anything. You know, there's no wall up with you guys because, like, you guys are my close friends. But I feel like with people, like, there's no relationship with, there's no need to be. I don't feel a sense of to need to be vulnerable. Do you know what I mean? But everyone else is kind of just like business. Do you know what I mean? whoa. If I don't have a relationship with you, then it's
business.
There's no need to be vulnerable. And I think how you carry yourself is huge. I think it's massive. Like, if you're a very like depressed, insecure person, like, that energy will carry through. I believe in energy transfers. Like, you can see based off someone's body language if they just have this, like, kind of dark, kind of like sad kind of energy. But if you see someone who's literally just like, and even this is before you speak to them, who's like full of life, full of opportunity, like that kind of energy, like, you can see that on someone, and that attracts you towards them. And then you talk to them, and then it's like, oh, I'm doing this, do you want to do this? And then you do this, and you meet someone here, and then you get this job. And that's literally how I've been doing everything. You're just chatting to people, and then just chat to people, networking. We talk about how I think networking is literally one of the most important things these days, because connections are everything. And coming from bloody Enniscorthy, and my parents are like, I'm second gen, don't know anyone. So you have to talk, do you know what I mean? You have to talk, make connections. People start to trust you because you're just a good person. And again, just being a good person with good intention. And people are like, oh, cool, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? You just keep going.
Were you always good at that? Like, making connections, being a people person, putting yourself out there?
Definitely not. I was so introverted. Like, we had this chat before because I went through a major personality shift when I started university. Because before, I was very much the study hard, like literally would go straight home, study.
Study through the night.
Yes, I would have... I loved it though. Like, genuinely enjoyed it so much. Like, I loved the chase of just perfection. So I would...
Overachiever.
Yeah, again. Was I overachiever? Are you an overachiever if you actually achieve what you're achieving? I think
Are you
high achiever.
Achieving over the average, perhaps?
I thought overachiever meant you were like almost like
I don't think it's
setting the bar too high.
Achieving more than other people, I would think.
You're definitely right. I would consider that a high achiever, and then overachiever. What comes to mind is like, despite winning worlds, you were still disappointed that something wasn't reached over what you achieved. Anyway. Yeah,
whatever it meant. Anyway, so I would literally, no joke, and this got out and people got concerned, but I would go home from school around 3:30, walk home, have like a bowl of cereal, sleep for like 2-3 hours, depends on if I have a lot of study to do. Would get up at like 1 a.m. I know that maths doesn't work out, but I don't really remember. And then literally just like work throughout the night and then go straight to school after, like with no sleep. I genuinely loved it, and this is why I can't sleep now. But if you saw my room, I had a whole mapped out thing on how to do revision, my homework, and study for my leaving cert, like when I was in third year. So I would get through all the books in time for like my test during the year and through leaving cert. So I had the whole book. I don't know how I do. Like, genuinely,
where did this come from?
Just did it. Like, and it wasn't even a thing for my parents. Like, they never were like, oh, you have to da-da-da-da. Because my brother was a bloody football player. Like, he was complete opposite. I was just like so set on, I want to be a surgeon. But I genuinely loved learning. Like, the stuff we were learning, I was like, this is so sick. Like, it's just fun learning. And like, seeing that A+, 100%, jeez, it was like crack.
When can you recall that first being the case? Like, was
it seems like it was so intrinsic. I don't even know where it came from. Like, I just like from first year to 6th class, same work ethic.
What about even before that, primary school? Like,
I actually, did I say this on the other podcast? I don't think so. So basically we did these tests called Sigma A's or something, I don't know, in primary school. I don't know what it was.
Got an A+. Certified.
So brain rot. Anyway, there were these like standardized tests, like the whole country did, and I came 4th in all of Ireland as like a bloody.
I think I came 3rd.
Hey, yo!
Nice, guys.
Show me right now.
I came 2nd.
The coincidence. 4th in like the whole.
It's expecting you to say I actually came 1st.
Yeah, I was going to. I was like, let me not do that. Did I say 4th? I meant 1st.
I'm 1st and 4th. I don't think twice.
But yeah, like 4th in all of Ireland. I think my dad told me that like 8th. I was just like, that's kind of crazy. So it's just always been there. Don't even remember like taking those tests, but I do remember distinctively. Oh, in primary school as well. The thing about me, right? I just love winning. So anything, genuinely, we had like, I remember this geography test. We have to make a poster. If you tell me to make a poster, poster hates to see me go.
Canva hates to see me go.
Hate! I'm not joking, because it wouldn't be something that was like graded or towards anything. It was just like, who has the best poster, man?
It was for the street cred. Like, it was for the street
genuinely, so I can come in and be like, yeah, they're like, you know when you lay them out on the table and someone's like, whose poster is that? And you know it's what, that, like drugs. Genuinely, I just love that, just like, wow. I just love, you know what I really do like? I love surprising people, like people just being like, that's insane. Do you know what I mean? Like even with the squat, I just love people being like, how have you done that? You know, like that kind of like, what's the word? Not surprise, but like people are just so like shocked by what you've just done. But like the posters, oh my days. I would like sketch out things from books. Like everyone else's would just look so so like underdone, and like it just didn't look finished in comparison to mine. Like Picasso, genuinely. I wish I kept these, man. They were genuinely so good, and I was really good at art as well. I've always been a creative person, so I love a creative outlet. So like teachers like, oh, do a poster for homework. Yeah, done out, man. Whoever's on my team, we've already won. You don't need to do any work because I don't want you tainting the perfection that's coming with this. So it's always been like that. We had this other game in primary school. Did you ever do times tables, like beat the clock? So basically it's like multiplication and there's 7 in the middle and then there's like 1, 9, 2, and you have to do it in a certain time. You're like 7 by 1 is 7, 7 by 10, and you have to go around and it's like timed. Man, who won all those every single time? I did. Yeah. I did. Because I just want to win. I don't care what it is. I would go home and I would time myself and I would just do it. But I found it fun as well, which I can barely like focus on reading a sentence on the back of a milk thing for calories like now. But back then, man, I just, a different level of just dedication. But I genuinely did love it. It didn't feel like someone was forcing me. I just loved, like, I don't know, dedicating myself to something. Because you feel powerful.
When you won?
Beat the clock.
No, how did you feel when you won? Like, when you win, what does that feel like?
I can't even express it. Especially with things like stupid things like that. I'm better than everyone else. I'm just better than everyone. No. But like even just.
You don't need to poo-poo it. Is that how you feel?
It's more so like I don't know what it is. It's like the dedication and then getting the result. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's almost like I expect to win because I know no one else has literally put their heart and soul into it like I have. Like that's where it's coming from. It's like that confidence from like, I've put in so much work. There is I guarantee there's no one else that put like their heart, soul, and mind and body into it and have committed this much as me, basically. That's what it comes from. I think that's probably why like the whole thing happened after the 2 panic attacks, whatever. Because it's like, I've literally put everything into this. And usually beat the clock, I put everything into it, I win. Make the poster, I win. Powerlifting didn't win or didn't get what I want. So they're 2 different things, as you always say. But yeah, I think that's where it comes from.
How did you process that when you put everything in and you didn't win?
Clearly, well, just breaking down. The first time was fine. It wasn't too bad, just a bit of crying. The second time genuinely felt like a panic attack.
Where was
it was
that?
so bad because I hate people seeing me cry. But I couldn't go anywhere. It was just a big, massive open space. Jen was there. Jay, I remember every single person that was there. Jen was there. Jay was there. Alex Combs was there. Rod was there. That made me worse when I saw Rod. I just started crying even more. And then Jen came up. It was uncontrollable. Like, I didn't want to cry. Like, I was like, why are you crying? This is so stupid. But I was just crying. Like, obviously, suppressing a lot of emotions. And then it will come out at some point. That's what I've learned. If you suppress it, it'll come out in some shape or form, and it just happened then. And then. So
you have the period when you're crying.
Yeah.
Then what? How do you process that?
Some woman in the corner was like, "You need to get your drug tested." Listen, she was just there waiting in the corner.
Yeah. In the corner. You're crying at me.
I couldn't see her. I was like, Jen, what does she want? I was like, Jen. And then I had to go with her, which was actually kind of nice. I was like, you couldn't have come like 5 minutes ago. I could have cried in peace. But yeah, I think that actually kind of made me feel a bit happier as well, because it's like, oh, I'm being drug tested. Obviously, clearly didn't do that bad. You know what I mean?
Did you win?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I did win actually. Which one was that? That was in Romania. No, okay. Now, I expected to win. Because it was the comp where literally the girl nominated behind me was like 100 kilos away. Like, if I lost, I think I would have taken my life. Because there's no way I was losing. I would have to.
Oh my God.
I would have had to miss weight to lose that competition. So I feel like if anyone was like that, if you knew you were gonna win, like if the person was 200 kilos behind you, you're not gonna be happy that you won.
Think about if I was 200.
I'm thinking like spraying champagne all over me, like.
And if I was 200 kilos above the next best person, I would be pretty happy. Yeah, that's.
So it's like it's something you know is gonna. You're not excited about something you know is gonna happen. It's guaranteed. There's no thrill from it. It's like, because again, it's just objectively, I should win.
Where do you get that thrill from now? Where do you get to be a high achiever now?
I'm not as much as one anymore. It's too much effort, to be honest. No, it genuinely is. And like, even having conversations with you, like I feel like the essence of life has changed for me. And this is why like I stopped powerlifting. Because I'm like, there's more ways, just want to enjoy my life. And I feel like genuinely I studied so hard I fried like a part of my brain.
I imagine if you stay up all throughout the night for years on end.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But I constantly change things as well. I like to keep things interesting. I don't want to do the same thing like over and over. It just gets stale, man. And it's not a thing where I'm like chasing the next. Well, yeah, no, technically that's fine to admit. Like it is just chasing a new kind of scenery and things. Mm-hmm. But again, I just love spending time with my friends now. Like that gives me a lot of fulfillment. Almost probably, can I say, in this frame of mind I'm in, for sure. But I can't compare it because Lystus was a different person that was competing and having all the panic attacks and stuff. But now it's just, I just want to enjoy life, spend time with the people I love. Don't want to die alone. It's like, yeah, you got A+ in your primary school maths. Sigma test.
The clock. The clock is running out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Try to beat this one.
And at that point, I wasn't making as strong of connections with other people as well.
Okay.
So I think now, like, it's just changed. I feel like I've achieved a lot now, and that's sick. I'm just, like, happy if... That's a deep question, you know?
That wasn't me, yeah.
Just a great question. Sorry. This is a great question. I genuinely just, like, again, it's too much effort. It genuinely is. Like, it is very emotionally demanding. And I think I've realized that. I'm just like, there's no need to put yourself through that, like the whole high achieving thing. Because again, you've had some, what you say about it is like really digging deep in like, why is it so important to like win and stuff? It's like, it's cool, like to an extent. I think when you base your whole identity out of it, it's just like, it's kind of a waste, especially when it's powerlifting. If it was bloody sprinting or something, fair enough. Do you know what I mean?
Money off.
Exactly. Yeah. That's another big thing, actually. Yeah. And then just thinking longevity-wise as well. That's a huge thing. When I started thinking more about longevity and not just thinking about what I enjoy, I think it did change my mindset on stuff a bit.
Tell me more. Because
you want to end up somewhere, right? This is why I think it's important to know where you want to, in any situation, even when it comes to socials, creating content, blah, blah, blah. Know where you want to end up and you know the steps to take. If you just aimlessly go through life, you'll end up being like, oh, wait, maybe I missed a step or two, or misdirected, and that's not necessarily going towards the goal. Like, if I kept powerlifting, I would have missed out on a lot of opportunities, and I was noticing that. And then when this one came, I was like, obviously, I'm not going to, regardless of world championships, defending my title, like, this is obviously the direction I want to go in, so that's where I'm going to go. And the high achiever in me, because it's a trap. Like, it will be like, I need to defend my title. Like, self-worth and stuff, blah, blah, blah. I need to defend it. And, like, people were telling me I had to. But again, it's a bit too much effort. When it comes to powerlifting, it's just, like, risk to reward. And then it's, like, naturally, I want to end up here, so it's easy to make the decision. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's a huge thing as well, longevity. Like, do I want to be breaking my back for deadlifts for the next 3 years and not make a cent out of it? Not really. Not really. So... I want to travel as well. I want to experience the world. Like, we're still young. Like, even being to all the countries, when I traveled more from powerlifting, I was like, oh, well, it's kind of nice, you know? Like, there's so many places to, like, experience. And then you meet so many cool people powerlifting. You're like, you don't have to wait till the next powerlifting competition to, like, meet new people. So that was a huge thing as well. And I can travel and enjoy the process and not have to, like, eat 7,000 calories and just ruin the whole process for myself. So I think longevity is huge. It's something to think about. Because people talk about longevity in the sport. And I never knew, I knew, like, Sean would say stuff where, like, my old coaches would be like, yeah, 2-3 years. I'd just be like, no. If I'm still powerlifting after 2-3 years, I've given up on life.
I think that was something that was always present even from when you began powerlifting.
Yeah.
That it was always going to be a short-term thing rather than a lifelong career.
Yeah. Because I think... I stayed in powerlifting because I was good at it. Like, I think that was the initial, and then obviously started falling in love with it. Well, loving it to an extent, but then I was like, it doesn't make sense to stop because I wanted it to be a little side quest. Do a cheeky comp, come first. Came third in my first comp, actually. It's bloody Leah Donovan. Insane. Came Can you keep that in? I literally came third, and again, everyone was gassing me to come first, but it was based off dots and all this kind of crack. Missed my last pull for technicality, scarred me for life, because I dropped it apparently. But like I let go of it, and then I let go the last second. People do that all the time, and no one gets red lighted. Yeah, I get so angry. I get so annoyed.
It's all right to fail.
No.
I think I saw Steve coming out of your ears for a
Not
second.
even second, but third, and I didn't even know how the whole thing worked. So I knew I came second to another girl because Marie Mongan. See, I remember everyone's ever beaten me. Marie Mongan, she came out of nowhere, and then by the end of it, if I got my last pull, I think I would have come second anyway. It didn't really matter. And then I was like, came second. Then was ready, called out for a third. Oh my, wow,
First
that
is
was
the worst,
another
second
feeling.
is the best, third is the
One with the hairy chest. Basically, yeah. So that was tough.
You go to accept the medal, and you're like, what the fuck? Where's all this come from? The bronze is just like sat up here on the tuft. That's why we have to put like jumpers on when we go up on the platform now, anyway.
Third place is crazy. Like back then, Lystus, third place is like, might as well come last. Like genuinely. No, what was it? What was I used to always think? Yeah, people used to say third is better than second because at least you knew you were kind of out of reach anyway. Because there was a specific sport I used to come second every single time.
What?
It was shot put. It was like always like the nationals because it was this girl who was really good. Second every single time. It's like you're so close, but just not close enough.
Why didn't you win?
It wasn't good enough. But she had more experience and stuff, so fair, whatever. But I think coming second is almost like a good thing because like it keeps you chasing. Because like it's still that little piece to, and sometimes I think you almost get more fulfillment when you do like come second or you narrowly miss something. And that's why powerlifting is a good thing because it keeps you chasing, it keeps you wanting to get stronger because like you get so close, like you missed that deadlift, but you got so close, you do the next comp and it is encouraging you to get stronger. Yeah, it's a good thing. And then when you come first, it's like, oh, I've completed it. Do you know what I mean? But second keeps you chasing. Do you know what I mean? And this is why I find it very interesting. People who tend to get to the top really quickly tend to just kind of stop.
Yeah, you reach the top of the mountain. How much further do you go? Like,
yeah, you've completed everything.
Keep trying to stay up here. Because there's a really interesting idea about the trajectory you're going is more important than the position. So if you were 50th last year, but you're 43rd now, that feels better.
Crazy.
That feels better than you were first and now you're second.
Yeah.
Or even
100%.
Or even you were first.
Wait.
And now you're kind of still first again. Like you're not on that upward trajectory.
Yeah.
You're not making that progress.
Yeah.
So if you've gone from first to second, that feels way worse than being 50th to 43rd. Even though the objective position,
I never thought about that.
Is so different.
Yeah, very good point.
First to second.
Yeah. Like that pursuit, that
happens ever. Has to happen.
I don't think that's ever happened to me.
Well,
going from first to second.
As in, like
the year after.
It says you ran away.
Crazy.
You don't even mean that.
Crazy.
I don't mean
that.
that.
Because it's not true.
I don't mean it.
It's not true.
I was just trying to get you.
Yeah. But I'm...
Stir the pot.
You couldn't run at that body weight anyway.
Full of it.
Yeah.
So one of the things you kind of alluded to was the high achiever and always wanting to make sure that you're the best and better than everyone else. Do you think you got to a stage where you had almost proved to yourself enough that you had a big enough stack of evidence that you're like, I know I'm the best at this stage. Like I've almost satiated that desire a little bit. And that's why you're content to pack it in.
Yeah.
Like you have come first, whatever, world championships, European championships, national championships, however many times, set the world record. You've been at the very pinnacle multiple times in a row. You have this overwhelming stack of proof. Like, is there much of a burning desire to just like keep doing that, or have you like scratched the itch, so to speak? Like, have you proved to yourself that you know you're the best and you know you're capable of doing whatever you put your mind to?
I think, interestingly enough, that is a good question because I think it's half and half. I think I kind of justified being happy with that comp just because I kind of wanted to stop. So it's almost being okay with it, just so it's like, yeah, exactly. There's no point in being angry about it and leaving. That's just, I don't know, just a bad experience. Because I wasn't initially happy we said that because I didn't even podium at that comp. Like, that stung. did
Yeah,
sing.
I know,
I didn't like that. I know.
No. I was going to say that comp was... Okay,
Yeah.
we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
The scales of that comp... Your dots is okay through the roof.
Yeah.
No one's touching that dot.
Yeah.
Someone needs to come in for the next comp that I do and
tamper
with the scales, man.
I'll stand behind you.
Take an extra.
And they're like,
everyone at that comp weighed in like 4
screwed me over
kilos.
though because it
percentage
advantages.
for you.
It massively advantages the other girls.
Just to explain it a little bit for anyone who doesn't get it, the scales for the competition, the battery was like dying or something. Yeah. Someone said so. Everyone was weighing
across
in
the whole
3-4 kilos lighter. Yeah. But 3 or 4 kilos is a much bigger percentage of someone who weighs 40 something kilos as opposed to someone who weighs 90 something kilos. And the competition was based on dots, or the GL points or whatever it is, like that body weight coefficient. So you're getting a bigger skew in those lighter weight classes.
Yeah, 100%.
Either which way, your dots are so high.
Either which way, Agatha was winning, so it was for second and third. Do you know what I mean? It was a podium place for. She was in that. Yeah, she was in that comp. Yeah. She complimented my biceps. I was like, piss off. How are you? She was like, oh, I love you. Oh, your biceps. I was like, you're literally Agatha. You're literally Agatha. Piss off. Intimidation tactic. I see it through. I know what you're. So I'll be like, oh. I see through it. I know what she does. Yeah.
She's trying to give you a compliment.
She liked your biceps.
Not taking that. Yeah, what was the question? Oh yeah, partly justification.
Have you scratched the itch? Do you know you're just the best?
At powerlifting?
Just like whatever you're putting your mind to. You've had so much experience of being extremely successful. Mm-hmm. Have you done enough to be like, because a lot of the time, okay, there's the whole idea of like I'm not saying this is you, but like the insecure overachiever, where the thing that is driving them is this feeling of like not being enough. So you are trying to create this like overwhelming stack of proof to prove that you are enough and far more than enough. Have you got to the stage where you've just absolutely like proved everything that could possibly be proved, especially within powerlifting? Like you've ticked all the boxes that you could have ticked. Maybe
have
not.
Have I ticked all the boxes? I don't think I have.
You've won all the major competitions. You've set the world record total. That's ticking almost all the boxes. Like
I think that's a good question. I wouldn't say I'm the best powerlifter ever. I think the potential was there. Yeah, potential was there.
But just have you proved to yourself that you?
I knew regardless of like the titles. Like I feel like I'm secure with like even if I don't do anything, even sitting on the couch. I'm the best person to sit on this couch ever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have a high sense of security. It's more so just... It is just fun. It is just fun, like, the whole thing about, like, dedicating and, like, training. And, again, we all do enjoy powerlifting, SBD, and, like, getting stronger. It's cool to just see, like, one day, 230, like, flatten me. The next day, it's moving at RP6. Like, that in itself is a sense of achievement. And then even realizing I could just get that in the gym, doing it in front of people doesn't really change the fact that you've lifted. You know, it's more like within the parameters of sport, of course, because it has to be recorded. But like, if I squat 245 in the gym versus in a platform in front of people in a random ass country like Romania, it doesn't really change the fact that I've lifted 245 and I'm strong enough for it. So it was maybe at the start it was just to like just do it because it was fun. It's like, oh, I'm getting good at this, might as well see where it takes me. And then closer to the end, realizing like. Again, at the end of the day, I think I had this big, massive, like, brain thing. I think I chatted about it with you, like, ages ago. But, like, as much as, like, it is fulfilling, me powerlifting isn't changing the world, is it? Now, that could be argued. I do think about that differently because, again, seeing how many people I've inspired to, like, just become better and athletes, that's something that's inspiring people. But I'm just, like, I feel like I could be doing more, especially because, like, I feel like I have more to give as well. More than just, like, up and down 3 times. As well.
That's all he has to do. That's all this guy has to do. Anyway.
And maybe that's all you were made for.
3 times.
Up and down, and then press 3 times. You have more to give. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what else do you have to give?
Man, I'm a creative person. And that's why I love the whole comp look thing, because powerlifting is so rigid and it's just, you know what you're going there to do. It's the same as the gym. So like when you get to express yourself through your hair, that's probably my favorite part about competing. And I did a different look every single time. If you look through everything, different hairstyle, different color, every single time. Who's doing that? Do you know what I mean? That alone gave me fulfillment. Like I was like, people are excited to watch me because I'm giving a whole aesthetic. I'm not just doing it like everyone else. Like standing out is huge to me. I want my hair to be flaming green if it could. Like I love that, you know, standing out and doing things differently. Going against the grain, that gives me plenty of fulfillment. Like even stuff like that, like I would be proud of. Like I look past my complex, I'm just like, wow, she was cool. Do you know what I mean? Like she doesn't really care what. Like as much as winning is very much like when you think about it, it is just to show people like, oh, proving that, oh, I'm the best at this thing. But I think for me, it was so intrinsic. Like there was little things that I would be proud of that no one would care about. Do you know what I mean? Even stuff like, say with deadlifts, like Jay will tell you, and I think Sean could tell you as well, I would move 70, like my max is like, 150 time. I'd move 70 clean, and that would, I'd just feel, you know, I'd be like, that's a massive sense. I'd run to Jay and be like, Jay, I figured it out, that 70 moves so good. And it's just like the enjoyment of that, little things like that, and he'd just be like, it's 70 though. I'd be like, I know, but though, you should have seen the way it moved, but like that would mean a lot to me in comparison to like, say, like no one else would really care. Do you know what I mean? So little things would like give me a sense of fulfillment. I knew I was good at what I did, like, because I was doing it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Again, if you lift a PR in the gym versus in Romania, it's not different. Like you're still a strong person. Yeah. So, yeah.
Powerlifting's done. You still train.
Yeah.
But your powerlifting career is parked. Now, in the next year, 3 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? What do you want to give? You say you've more to give.
Yeah.
What's going to bring you fulfillment, or, you know, what are you aiming at?
I want something that's like where I can like get all those things I can do and put them into one outlet. You know what I mean? I think YouTube's good for that. And even with Gladiators, why I really liked it when the opportunity came was that I got to be an athlete. That's huge because it very much is very intense. I got to do new things, like new training, like running, climbing, strength, all that kind of thing. I got the like panto, because I love that, you know, the costumes. Like I used to do that within powerlifting as well. And then like the music, the production and socials, like it's like so many parts of me that I can, you know, pour into something. Yeah. So I like something where it's like, it's not as like just, I'm not caged, I can do like a bunch of things. Do you know what I mean? Be creative in different ways.
WWE.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Manifesting it, we're putting it out into the universe.
It's already happened.
It's got to happen. Oh, I'm getting the energies and putting it out there. We got to get Lystus into the WWE. It's got to happen.
Man,
surely
so
it's
sick.
Got to happen. Like the step from Gladiators to WWE is not a big leap.
Yeah.
It has the personality. Has
Just
has all the characteristics. Oh, yeah.
And you get to do that. And another level of that is I get to bring because obviously I love beef.
People up.
Huh? Yeah, that too. But like the beef, you get to do the whole like back and forth.
The drama.
Oh,
that's
man.
the best part. Because I feel like that motivates you.
What would you do though if you were the champion and then you had to like be beat?
I had to be beat.
Yeah, someone had to beat you. You had to like let it.
First, it's not real. Anyway.
For the bag.
For cinema. Not for the cinema. If there's a storyline, jeez, I would lose.
I'll die.
Would you be like a good person or a bad person? Like I think they're called like a baby face or a heel. Like, would you be someone who like the crowd loves, or you come in and everyone's like boo, boo, because you're like evil? Which one?
Being evil's more fun though.
Oh, crazy.
Way more fun.
Why?
Because there's no parameters. Like, if I was the good person, there's parts of me that's a bit more, like, sassy and stuff. I just have to hide that stuff. Be like, oh, I'm so wait, what do you mean good in WWE? Like, you're just like...
Oh, there's people who are, like, the crowd favourites. And then there's the people that you're like, this person, like, they're... I don't know, but, like, just in general, there's the people who you like, and then there's the people who are, like, who are bad.
People would
like
me.
They have the bad characteristics.
People would like me, but I still be bad.
And you say evil has, like, no parameters. Do you mean, like, less parameters? Or...
You can do more, you've more creative freedom, perhaps.
Way more creative freedom. Because you can decide what is bad. Do you know what I mean? I feel like good is just good. Bad is like, what is bad?
What is bad?
Slimy, snaky.
Oh my god, slimy and snaky. That's pretty good.
He's like, yeah, do that one.
That's a Friday
night. Conniving, underhand. I don't know. All those kind of things.
I feel like naturally I kind of look more bad than good.
Interesting.
Okay. Objectively.
Why do you think that?
Because people are more scared because I'm big, strong, black. I feel like no.
We said no.
Are we scared?
You laughed a bit too high.
I laughed before you said it. I laughed before you said it.
Yeah, your laugh was a bit too hard, boy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
But even, it's funny because, like, people, so many people have told me, like, I didn't expect you to be the way you are, because people just think, I just look like a prick. I don't take it as a bad thing. I like being intimidating. But people always, I used to get it in school all the time. I've never gotten in fights because who's going to fight me, generally. And I kept to myself anyway. But, like, everyone was just like, I had a dream you killed. A girl said that to me. I had a dream.
What were you doing in school?
Nothing.
Walking around the corridor like...
Well, she's been up for 11 hours, so she's like this. She's tweaking in the school.
Hallucinating.
That's right.
Like,
Their eyes are full red. No way.
Wonder why everyone thinks I'm going to kill her.
beat the clock. There is no clock, listen. There was no clock. It was off your mind.
There is no
Don't wear fucking 5.
Sometimes that's crazy.
She's like a schizophrenic in the back of the class. Rocker.
Imagine that was actually true though.
I've got to win. I've got to win.
I didn't even win.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Oh my God. I'm actually dead. In an alternate reality, 100%.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that back.
How do we even get here?
Yeah, what were
Oh yeah.
You're going to be the bad in WWE.
Yeah. Because I feel like I just fit the role really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is, it's got to
intimidating, like.
When we suggested the WWE thing to listen, she goes, oh yeah, I'm going to put that on my to-do list.
Man, you should see my to-do list. Clip fingernails. Like, historians would read both of ours and be like, what was the difference between these two people?
Oh my days! It's getting hot in here. Oh, it's getting warm.
Careful that mic.
Yeah, I can't take this off, can I? Oh my days.
What the hell were we talking about? Anyway, so can you tell us anything about Gladiators? Don't go into anything that's going to be too crazy. But like, what in general, what can we expect from Lystus? Are you going to be a big part in this series now?
So how it works is like, there's gladiators and then normal people come against us. So it's kind of meant to be a David Goliath thing. Can an average person beat like a
superhuman?
Yeah.
You have one of your classmates come. It's like...
Oh my days. There's actually a funny story from that. Did I tell you guys about this? I don't know if I can say this, but you can take it. I'll ask and see if because it's a specific story.
Maybe tell us after.
Okay.
Because I don't know if I'm good enough at
Every time I say I'm taking this out, you're just like leaving it in. Don't have to do that.
Yeah, you'll forget.
Yeah, exactly.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you after, just remind me.
Yeah.
No, genuinely, the experience was like life-changing. Because it was 3 weeks where we were literally taken out of our homes. That sounds bad. We all lived together and all had our own separate rooms and gaffs and stuff, like studios, but we all lived like next to each other. We get on the bus in the morning, it's like, my sleep schedule was so good. Yeah. Because like there was actually routine and structure. So we had to be up. We had to be on the bus by like 7:30 or something. Like kids getting on the bus in our like matching tracksuits and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Went over to the arena. Literally, not joking, 10, 12-hour days. But it was unreal. And again, everyone else is like an athlete in their own right. And it was nice because no one was real like cocky or no one thought it was just nice. It was like nice people. And like there's me and the other guy who's new. And obviously they were already like a close-knit bunch. They did a whole season together. But we like gelled in so like it was scary how well we gelled in. And then in the morning, get your costume, makeup stuff done, coffee run done. Everyone's like, oh, what you wanted? I'd have my caramel macchiato, blah, blah, blah. Get my hair done, sit in the makeup, da-da-da. Everyone's chatting, music's playing. MUA, lovely, having all the gossip with her. She was telling me her new man that she's seeing, all this, yeah. So interested. She was a Taurus, yeah. She was dating a Capricorn, I think. Didn't end up working out. Anyway, so after that,
I think you're out in yourself. You're in astrology.
This is me. Yeah. After that, then they would, in the morning, they tell us what games we're doing, because that's how the show runs. So giving us the brief for the day. Everyone's sitting down in their costumes. Like when someone's name's called, you clap. So cute. And then the show runs on, and it's a live show as well. So like if you do anything that's like, well, everyone sees it, and then they take it off for the season. But it's in front of so many people.
Really?
So many people. Like even for my entrance. Oh, I couldn't tell you. I have no concept of. But it was like an arena like this, and it was all full, basically.
Lots of people.
Lots of people.
At least
four people.
But even just because it was split into, say, so the 3 weeks we were away, the first week and a half was training, because you have to train, very intense training for all the games and stuff, make sure everyone's well. Yeah. Then filming days where we do practice filming, and then a week and a half of shows back to back to back. So literally you're getting up at 6. You're getting up at like 6 and then not getting back to like 11 every single day, and just doing that over and over again. And I don't even know how to explain. It was sick being like in a TV production thing, because it's so different. Do you know what I mean? Like you learn so much about TV production, like how they film stuff. The fact that like we filmed this ages ago, but it's only coming out now. Yeah. I've even changed from when I was like doing it before. Being all glammed up, you have to stay glammed up all day, even if you're not on, like watching from behind the scenes, going out, doing things over again. I had to do this thing, I don't know if this is going, but like I had to do this thing where I was the only one, like this arena is massive. Like, is it Sheffield level? Say bigger than, much bigger than Sheffield. Go out on the thing, the only person there by myself, and do this like routine basically. And you have to do it multiple times for camera angles. So like you see it once in a show. Yeah. Like we see everything once in a show, but like people have to do that multiple takes. And it feels kind of weird because it just feels like the live audience as well is watching. So they just have to watch it over and over.
This happened. I went to like a like a private, I don't know how to describe it. Ed Sheeran was basically playing for like a TV recording for an Irish TV channel. Mm-hmm. And there's only like maybe 20 of us in the room while Ed Sheeran and the talk show hosts were like doing their thing. Yeah. But at the end, after Ed Sheeran had left, the talk show host had to like redo a load of shots where he sat there and we were all in the back like nodding and looking, so that then they could clip it together in post. If Ed was doing something, that they had a shot then to pan to your man to make it look like he's engaging with it and that we're engaging with him, and we have to like fake laugh.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. It's insane. Yeah. But then as someone watching it, you're not thinking about all these things at all. No. So that's very insightful, and so much goes into it, man. Like, but I will say, like, being a part of that whole production, because it's 1 million people, everyone loves it. Like, they love that show. Like, anyone you talk to, whether it's the runners that are getting you their coffee, everyone just like they love this show, and it's so nice to be around that. Like when you feel like, wow, this is like, it's so cool because the people are so like committed to it, and everyone's smiling and happy to be there. Like everyone's been there for hours and hours, setting this up, tearing this down, setting up, tearing this down. But everyone's like, this is for like a greater purpose, and everyone loves it, and you feed off that as well. It's not nice to work with people who just don't care. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Especially when there's so many moving parts. People get injured, like physios, so many people. But you're in such a bubble. I love being disconnected from like the outer world. I don't know why. I just love it so much. But like you're just in this thing. You're not on your phone because you can't. There's just no time in the day to do it. You're with everyone else in this very confined space. And that's why you get so close to these other people as well. Because it's, again, you're not on your phones. You're living in real life. People are having conversations. Like, even in the morning. It's beautiful. Conversations, and that's a whole other conversation about, like, social media and how it's affected just relationships in general. Yeah. But, like, even just... It was so nice because no one's on their phones, not really doing anything anyway. And then when there's like a bit of free time, we're playing music and like we're dancing. Like everyone's like, oh, I like this song, I don't like this song. Like I was younger than most of the people there. I'm the second youngest gladiator. So I didn't know any of their songs, and then they were educating me, but like, yeah, DMX, like getting really close to everyone, and just free, do you know what I mean? Just having conversations again, star signs. I was always going on about star signs, so every single person's star sign, by the way. Going through that, just little things like that, and everyone was so closely bonded, and it was good for me. I've never been in a routine like that, like actually sleeping before it's like...
Just actually sleeping. Just actually sleeping.
Yeah, you just go through the night.
You're so... Man, this is why I love being wrecked. You're so tired. You don't even want to... You're straight into bed. Genuinely just like, I need to sleep now. So you're getting all the sleep you need. Oh, so nice. Yeah. so nice, like genuinely knackered. I was like, I'm gonna keep this going. Like when I get, no chance, because you're not getting to that level of tiredness. You know what I mean? It's mental tiredness, emotional tiredness, physical for sure. And yeah, genuinely such an amazing experience. So grateful for everyone on it. So excited to do it again because we get to do it for another 3 weeks with everyone. And now it's like, okay, fully don't need to go through the whole, what's this? Because that was a huge thing. Now it's just like straight into it. Do you know what I mean? So it's sick, yeah.
Did you make any good? So am I. Did you make any good friends on the show?
Yeah. One of the girls, she's like my bigger sister. Genuinely, she's Aquarius as well. But they're all. I love being around like older people because they've experienced a lot, and because they've been through the whole process before. Like we felt really taken care of. Because when they started, they had no idea how well the show was going to do. They didn't expect it to do as well as it did at all. They were just like, we're just doing this, hope to see how it goes. There's a lot of stuff you have to learn as it goes on.
I remember watching the show when I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Really? Like the older.
And then there's a Netflix series on like the OG one, like the American one. And it's all like they were getting off their face every night. Like there's so much drugs, all these like sex scandals and everything. And I was like, wait, what does Lystus got?
Lystus, please. Lystus, reply, please.
What is going on, please? Excuse me, please.
What's going on, please?
I feel like people won't get that reference. Whatever.
What was the initial question?
Can't even remember. No, you were just saying about.
Yeah, and again, it's really eye opening because it's like when you take away the phones and stuff, there's so many great people out there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Then the minute you're out of it, everyone's just on their phones anyway.
So much beauty in the world if you know where to look.
Oh yeah.
But then there is that sense of relatability as well. We're all top performing athletes, so there's a sense of like we do understand like this, daily struggles we go through, or like. There's a massive level of respect for everyone. Even though I didn't know everyone, it's like, everyone's... I've never walked into a room of more attractive people. So basically, they didn't know.
Hey, yo!
And then like...
Hey, yo!
He walked in here.
3+ people.
Yeah.
They didn't know who they kept it a secret from them as well. So they didn't tell them there was new Gladiators. Yeah. And so I had to walk into this room, no one knew. And then all the Glads are there. Wow. Sexiest group of people ever.
Really?
I'm seeing shoulders.
Yeah, second.
Sorry,
I get that, yeah.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
It's just because you're right here. I'm just very shy.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking to others. Yeah.
I'm seeing shoulders. I'm seeing vascularity. The men.
Sounds right.
Genuinely, I was just like beautiful group of people. Like Gladiator makes sense. I understand why the show is called Gladiators. Yeah. So many tall people. So many tall girls. Like you never see tall, jacked girls. Like I'm not the tallest on the show.
Wow.
It's kind of. I was
pissed about that. Just get that, they break their legs and
she was looking it up. How do I get taller?
I'm usually the tall one.
Drink more milk, play basketball or something, get taller.
Girls towering over me. I'm like, what the heck is this?
And you beat them up
but that's the most jacked. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. But it was cool to see because you don't see that. You don't see that normal every day.
Yeah.
Everyone's just. And everyone's so distinctive as well. Everyone has their own specific look. And even outside of Gladiators, I met them in their normal clothes and it's just cool.
Yeah.
Even like Matt, like Matt, I think he was like one of the first people. I used to watch Matt all the time. I didn't even watch fitness influencers like that. But his calorie challenges.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He called me out when he was like, why is your sumo so bad?
Oh my God.
But that's just Matt, do you know what I mean? Like he was just joking, whatever. Or was he? I just don't know. But that was a surreal moment, getting to meet him. And then people speculated it was me as well. They were like, we knew it was you. I was like,
oh wow.
How'd you know who I am? But I think people were friends with the guys I did the trials with. And then it got back to them, they were like, yeah, she's definitely getting it.
Okay.
That was cool, gelled with everyone. And it's funny because like it genuinely doesn't feel like a real thing because again you're told to just kind of like you can't speak. Like I could only tell my closest just for practicality. That was it.
Yeah.
People signing NDAs and stuff. It was really that deep. And had to keep it secret for 6 months in summer and not tell anyone. Can't say it on socials. Everyone thought again injured, scared of Chelsea. Just had to
Shane it.
Yeah,
that takes a lot, to be honest. You're in the public eye in this fun, big thing, and you actually have to chin that and just take it that I'm not living.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Chelsea's like, where you pulled out?
I know, but now look at us now.
Yeah.
Of course.
For the greater good.
Yeah.
is that even practically it's difficult because like now, your friends are like, oh, let's do this during summer. I was like, I just can't. Just can't. But now all of you know, which is nice. So next year everyone could come over. It's not like as much of a secret and stuff. But yeah, even not being able to tell, because like again, as someone who creates content, it's like it's your whole life basically. You couldn't even post with like close friends. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's tough. That was actually very tough because it's this cool thing that's happening.
You want to share.
Yeah, exactly. You want to tell like your close friends about and like what's going on and what you can't show anyone. Even if I tell you, even if you guys knew, I still can't show you what it looks like and that kind of thing. Yeah. For commitment to show. You know what's so funny though? It shows written in the stars about this Gladiator thing because I didn't even know what the show was when I got the call. I did, what was it? I was with after I filmed the show, I went with one of like the girls I know that works with Gymshark as well. Went to one of her gyms in South London. Was with her posing in the mirror. And then the guy who owns the gym, lovely man, comes over and he was like, having a chat. And he was like, you know what you'd be great for? Gladiators. No way. But he didn't know. Like he genuinely didn't know. And I was like, Gladiators, like, what's that? He was like, nah, you'd be perfect. Like, it was so weird. Crazy. And he was it wasn't even a passing thing. Like, he sat me down and was saying, no, like, they're set for life. Like, after you do the show, everyone, he was like, next year I'll get you in. He contacted, like, Julia, because I think he's friends with her. He's like, wrote down her number. He's like, I'll tell her that for you now. It's like, when you get it, you know. And my friend knew, because I told her, and we just looked at each other, and we're just, like, pretending that it didn't happen. Yeah. I did a video with Joel, like a YouTube video. Everyone was commenting, she looks like a gladiator, but not even referring to that show, just Gladiator in general, like 3 different times. I was like, that's kind of mad. Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And now we're saying about WWE next.
WWE, or if anyone thinks of any like superhero.
I want to be in a
movie, like a Marvel movie.
Yeah. So cool.
What I say? I feel like it was cooler before. I feel like Lystus before was cool. Because you just did whatever. Do you know what I mean?
You're still cool.
Yeah, well, Lystus up before is Lystus up now.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking show hasn't even come out yet.
But it's funny, like, even looking back on, like, my videos and stuff, because I still have all my highlights, like, from every prep, like, it's there. So sometimes I watch past, I'm just like, that's insane, the journey. Because I used to do calisthenics. So I said this on, like, my tape interview as well. I was like, I feel like Gladiators is perfect because I've done so many different things. And, like, it's all bunched up into this one thing. Because even doing calisthenics helped me a lot, like with body control and like the handstands and stuff. And that's what I used to like, a little party trick to what I did that on the tape thing. I was like, move the camera back, let me do something real quick. Did a handstand and all, and then even that helps is like just being athletic and stuff. And then powerlifting, obviously, strong, jacked, 5'10" stallion, black, beautiful, everything. And then I did running at one point as well. Like I was very much I did athletics. I was really fast. So like it felt like I was collecting all the infinity stones. Beat the clock. I should have started with that. Beat the clock. And then even with the whole like doing the different looks for comp looks and like creative that way, and it all just like merged into one thing. And I said this, and then obviously stole their hearts, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to ask on Gladiators?
No, I think we've fleshed it out a lot. I don't want to do something.
Well, it's not Gladiators, but I have a question.
Yeah, go.
You mentioned amidst that, like not going on the phones, and you referenced how some paraphrase you said like social media has like ruined relationships.
It's ruined everything, in my opinion. I think there's more cons than pros right now.
So
crazy, and that is crazy considering you have such a big following.
And it's my job. Yeah. I think it's obvious. Where do I even start? I saw this thing. It's so funny. I complain about social media while I'm doom scrolling. I'm like, I saw this on social media, about social media. But it was like this trend, and someone said, we didn't even, back then, we didn't even know how many other people there were in the world, let alone what they were thinking. And that hits me deep. I think about that all the time.
True.
That's information over. That's why everyone suffers from ADHD. We can't focus. We don't go outside. We're just so you scroll. Like your brain can't process that much information, so that's why it doesn't hold on to anything anymore. It goes in and out. That's the issue, like the psychology behind it, because it's fed so much. How is it meant to process any of that? You laugh. Oh, no, I'm crying. No, this. Oh, didn't like that. It's a lot for your brain to go through. So I feel like that's definitely affecting people psychologically as well. And if it was a thing where it wasn't something people were addicted to, cool, fine. But we are like very much addicted to it as a society. There is pros, like people can make money easier now and like network and stuff, but I think that's negatively affecting relationships because we don't have a sense of the real world. I've met some entitled people, like I've heard so many stories like of these influencers. It's because like you have this little world that you control, right? This little world, and you can do whatever you want. I find it crazy that I could text Chris Brown right now. He's not going to see it. But the fact that I can
to be honest, you have enough followers.
I could just text whatever I want. I could just text someone in Iceland whatever I want, anything. Yeah. That is insane to me. Like that whole concept is ridiculous because I get stuff sent to me. I'm just like, what? First, what was the thought process behind sending me this? And like, I'm gonna see it now as a person, but you are desensitized to the fact that I'm a human. A person. Yeah, it's so easy. It's just like, oh, this is this. But if we were in person, there's no way you'd even say that. Do you know what I mean? Good and bad as well. Like just even when I get a lot of messages about a specific thing, even with Gladiator, it's very overwhelming. Obviously, I'm so grateful. I'm not saying it's negative, but it is very overwhelming because like so many people.
You almost have to be desensitized to how can you?
Yeah, because it's a lot to process, and obviously that was all positive. Still is a lot of information to process. Yeah. I think that's why I do like traveling as well, because you feel a bit disconnected from the world, and you get to experience just. You're more open to like going outside and experiencing things when you travel. Because when you're at home, again, desensitized. It's like, oh, Ireland. I always rave on about like, oh, Ireland's boring. But Ireland's a beautiful place. But I grew up there. So again, being desensitized. And that is a big part of being a human. Naturally, that's always going to happen. But I think it just is something that's just happening like way more now just because we're stuck on our phones. Like we don't have a sense of the real world or how to connect to real people.
Okay. So connecting to real people.
Yeah.
What do you think we can do to combat this addiction that we have?
I think we're cooked, to be honest.
Well, talk to me. What do you do?
Yeah, what do I do? Definitely prioritizing because, again...
5 minutes ago, we had to edit out on the podcast. Lystus took out her phone just for real quick. She just scrolled. She was like, 1 sec.
Before the pod started...
Your Honor, my client would like 10 minutes to scroll.
Imagine, I just need a little hit.
Yeah, so what can we do? What do you do to combat that?
I do more so than before because again, I feel like I'm a very career-focused person, and I can easily go into
very what?
Career-focused person.
Very career-focused person.
Who let this guy in the pod? It's getting to that time. I feel like I'm a very career-focused person. So, this train of thought gone now.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Well, how do you combat the difficulties that social media presents with relationships?
I feel like I've cracked the code.
What's the code? And how do you crack it?
So, I feel like everyone has this whole massive sense of balance, right? I think about this as a calendar. Okay. A big, massive calendar. Yeah. That's how I see my whole life generally. Yeah. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay. The calendar. People very narrow-minded and think of the day-to-day and think of balance. They want to try to get everything done and achieve everything in the day. Periodization. I learned this from powerlifting. Period. I think this is...
Clip that just alone.
Amen, sister.
It's almost like we talked about this. Go.
Periodization. Because I'm someone, again, being very 0 or 100, I do struggle with like balance. Yeah. It's either I'm spending the whole day doing a specific thing. I can't really break it up. So it's like, instead of fighting it, maybe I should just embrace it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like when you're trying to... I feel like Ben Crockwell always says, the plan that works is the one you can stick to. Nice. So creating an environment where I can be my most productive self. So I periodize everything where like I'm like, okay, for this block, January, February, March, right now, where are we? I'm focusing on transitioning, moving. Just clip that. I'm focusing on transitioning.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Right now I'm focusing on... My brother. He put you in a movie or something. Wasted talent here. Anyway, like focusing the first 3 months, I'm like focusing on like
this thing's creeping
planning.
like crazy.
Focusing on more so like planning, boring stuff like admin, focusing on that. And then I can just put it to the side once that's done, whatever. Then for the next part, haven't really decided what I'm doing, but I do break it down into like, say, you know, a section where like I'm focusing heavily on like training, and that's like my main priority. And again, it's percentages. It's not like it's the only thing I'm doing within this period, but like saying I'm going to do recomp because I really want to focus on my body composition. Then it's like here, okay, we're going to focus more on socials, and then here, little sections in between, traveling, and just spreading everything out and not focusing more so on balance throughout the day, but throughout like the year. And I think it keeps things fun as well, and it works with my brain because I rather commit. Say if I have something to do, like if I have to write out a doc about something, I will sit down and I want to do it. I want to do it like in the day, and I'll just neglect everything else and just do that until it's done. So within that balance is very difficult. So I prefer to like spread everything out. So different parts of the month, the year, I'm doing different things basically. Yeah. And it has been working really well because it keeps everything fresh as well. Because I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah. So I want to be in a situation in the future where I'm doing different things. It's like, you know, traveling a bit, then focusing on YouTube, then Glads, then, you know, WWE at the start, then all this kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's your hero?
What's that? Who's your hero?
It's just odd, but like.
I would say how I always answer this question in my head. It sounds narcissistic. I would say my past self.
Ooh.
Because without her, right, like I admire her dedication. Like I look back on videos, I'm like, how you just, that's it. Like, how have you done all of this?
Gotta beat the clock.
Just get stuck with me. But like the fact, like, even just, not even the outcome of everything, but like the fact that I just found so much like fun in doing stuff. And everything was always purely out of passion. And if I was doing it, I was like, even with things like handstands, like that's a difficult thing to do. It's a difficult thing to achieve. But man, I would be on my, like people don't see how much work you put in. Because again, some people are just like, oh, you squat so heavy and you're so strong and stuff. I'm just like, man, if you saw what I was doing like back then and how much, not even just work, but passion. Like, I'm the type of person, if I'm doing something, like my soul is in it. Do you know what I mean? So when I was learning handstands, like I was on my all day, like genuinely all day. Like I wouldn't just like do it and then like sack it off. Like I would, and that's why I got it so quickly. Like everyone's like, how did you learn it so much? It's like genuinely on my hands the entire day because I enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I would get things quickly because I just put like my whole heart and soul into everything I do. And I think that's so cool looking back on it. Because it's like, well, she didn't even really know what was coming. I assumed something good would happen. It wasn't anything specific. But I was like, you know, if I just keep putting my heart into things, you know, something cool will happen at some point. Do you know what I mean? So, like, looking back, because I documented, even before I was like a, not influencer, content creator, athlete, and like I filmed everything. I used to do it on a small, like, you know, my close friends, like I post more on that than on my actual story. But even when I was studying and stuff, like, I used to like do grinds on my like Snapchat story. So I would explain concepts from like physics to help everyone else just on my story. But even just because, and I make it funny, like I like put names on everything, blah, 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 that kind of thing. I love entertaining people in whatever capacity it is. I just find it funny when someone's like, oh, that thing you did was like so funny. And like some stuff I cringe at because it's actually bad. Like there's one of me singing to my plant to try to make it grow. Like I have a plant that I got from school. I'm just rapping to her.
Don't obviously try. Salsa, make the vibe.
But like weird stuff like that, I've always loved. Like I have so much. Like that's why I love Snapchat because you can see stuff from like 2012. Some of it I can't even look at. But I've always loved to like document stuff and just entertain people. So even watching that back, I'm just like, I was actually tapped. I was a bit crazy, but like, I just loved everything I was doing. Whether it was studying, just loved it. I was just like, that's so cool. And I always had a strong sense of identity as well. Nice. So like, I always was very confident. Like, I don't know what I'll end up doing, but I'll get my bag. Do you know what I mean? Nice. Yeah. So I think, my past self, I'm just like, because if she didn't exist, I wouldn't exist. Or I wouldn't have the things I have. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If she just decided, I'm just gonna, I don't know, do something else or just give up or not bother to do anything. Like once I gave up like school, I could have just like chilled, been a PT and done that, but I didn't. Like I always wanted something better for myself and I still do. But she grinded as well. Like even if I enjoyed it, like I did work hard. Like anything I got, I did work hard for. Because some stuff I feel like people think you just get because you just get it. But I'm like, nah, like a lot of this, like even if I didn't work towards Gladiators, like all the time, dedication I put into learning new skills, because that's how,
I've carried over.
100%. Even just like working at powerlifting gives you more exposure for people to find you, like putting effort into your page and stuff. Like some stuff doesn't come directly from your hard work, but it can come after. And then that's what I learned again from like powerlifting training. Like I felt like in the moment, maybe it felt like I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve, but through that, like my mental's gone so much stronger, because you do have to go through those things to grow and grow more mental resilience. Like you do have to have breakdowns and then be able to rationalize. Like now I know how to rationalize those emotions. They're not just going to go away, but now I'm more mature and it's like, okay, cool, let's think about things more comprehensively. And now I'm a better person for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, that was a massive tangent, but
that was lovely. That was a great answer.
Thank you. I don't remember what the question was.
Got here
somehow. Yeah.
Where are we at time-wise?
Probably an hour and 35, 40.
Cool. For anyone that doesn't know, it's probably 4 hours past Andrew's bedtime.
I've been fighting yawns so much.
Yeah.
I'm so engaged in the conversation, but I'm literally like...
It's 11:30.
Oh, it's afternoon for me, so...
I go to bed like 9:30.
That's good though. Like I do feel... I don't know, it's like it feels like the right side of my brain appreciates that lifestyle more, but then the left side just, I can't be creative when I...
You just making that split or what?
What?
Like, what do you mean?
As in, okay, when I...
You right-handed?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
So...
Of course.
Yeah.
What am I fucking
Statistically, I am.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. Like, I feel more creative when I stay up. Because I find, like, when I do wake up earlier and stuff, I just feel like I'm just not creative. Don't know what it is. Because I just feel more like, do you know what I mean? But I get more stuff done, but less creative stuff done. I know it is. I feel like it's weird. I feel like two different people. But I should just...
Yeah, you hear that a lot. Some people are morning people, some people are night people, some people are...
There's also...
You're the psychology fella, you explain it.
I mean, there's also like...
Why are you learning your masters?
The sleep
Come on.
fella. You're the sleep fella.
Be asleep in a second, fella. Gotta beat the clock. Gotta beat the clock.
That's actually a very accurate representation. Yeah, I thought it was something so cute, and it's actually genuinely just like...
Tweaking.
Yeah. Over this thing and just like in my room, just practice sometimes. Like that's actually insane. Crazy. Still won though. So.
Well, led you to where you are now.
Yeah.
Anybody watching this, probably don't try to stay up through the night.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you know, the
Get beat by the
recommendation
clock,
of sleep being like 7 to 9 hours.
Time is a man-made concept.
Okay.
Have you seen that guy who's like, my week is...
I've seen it!
I get 3 weeks when you get a normal week. My first day starts from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yeah.
That's my first
12
day.
to 6.
I get another day in from 12 until 6.
Not
and then I get another day.
Yeah.
And he's like, so by the end of the week, I've had 3 weeks.
And he's being dead serious. And there's merit to it, yeah.
Come on, man.
It's just called nap maxing. You just nap every few hours.
Okay.
But again,
Yeah, I do that, except the nap is 9 hours long.
But time is a
And it's at the same time.
It's a man-made concept, so why can't I just make my own concepts? Because a man literally made it. Like, time isn't how we perceive it, it's just for organization purposes, and so the world can work in a way where...
Well, there is a natural circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Honestly, you got me there.
He was praying.
You got me there.
Lystus hates to see a comeback.
That's
Just
fine.
said
Just be
shit.
saying stuff. If you say it confidently enough, no one will question.
Turns out you actually don't need sleep.
No, I cannot lie. That's a whole thing. Say something confident enough and people will believe you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look.
Oh, I promise you, I'm not even joking. Not even joking. Just like shoulders back, say things.
Yeah.
Have you
Who's
ever
gonna
spoofed
check
your
me?
way in something?
Yeah.
Like what?
Not spoofed. I
Come
wouldn't
on.
say spoofed.
You said yeah, come on.
Nah, I think some stuff's a bit incriminating. I was going to say it earlier, but I was like, I can't
Crazy.
say that, man.
Okay.
Not incriminating, but it's just a bit like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't expose yourself. Have you
Yeah.
exposed you anything?
No.
That's a lot.
Oh, we spoofed our way into the banquet. The European Championships banquet. We super spoofed our way into the banquet. Okay, you have to pay like €50 for a ticket into the banquet.
No pre-planning here. Yeah. All on the same page. Yeah. Immediately we started playing the same story.
Yeah. So I've never paid a ticket for the banquet. Okay, I'm incriminating myself. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah. I've never paid a ticket for the banquet. I have always got into the banquet. This one we showed up. I think we were in tracksuits or something.
Is it Euros?
Yeah. We weren't even dressed properly, and the guy was like, "Do you guys have the ticket?"
Yeah.
And we were like,
our head coach actually.
Yeah, the federation paid for it.
Like when we paid for everything, it covered everything.
Yeah, the federation should have booked that. And he was like, "What country are you from? Ireland? We have no tickets from Ireland." And I was like,
"The fuck?"
We're like, "We paid
my
for
money."
It. Yeah. Like they took the money. Are you sure? And he goes, I'll ask. I'll check.
And we're like, look, we'll go get dressed.
We'll get changed. Yeah. But like, hopefully we'll get this sorted out. Yeah. Came back down to walk straight.
And then
we got started dancing.
We had him up, like swinging him.
We thought he was coming to be like, "Yo, so did you clear up about the tickets?" No, he was like, "Why is no one dancing?"
I love that.
Yeah,
that's harmless. That's harmless.
What about the World's Banquet?
What should we do about that one? Okay, so I'm a bit of a pro, right, at the old Snapchat making fake certificates of natures, right? So we got basically someone's banquet ticket, screenshotted it and just kept changing the name on it, and everyone scanned the same ticket. Because they were scanning it, they had QR codes.
Yeah. Surely they saw ticket lists.
I must have sent that thing to 20 people.
On Snapchat, of all things as well.
Edited on Snapchat, it's the same QR
It got to the stage where people were too lazy to change the name, so they all had the same name.
How about it was examples of if you say something confident enough, and these are just examples of flat lying.
Well, let's say confidently enough.
It's only for the banquet.
It's okay.
It's actually
when it's the banquet.
The only time I lie, it's for the banquet. It's for the banquet,
for a powerlifting banquet. Yeah. We've all done stuff like I did some. Can I say it?
Tell us after if you don't want to incriminate yourself because I can't edit it out.
I swear, it's too late. I don't know why they call it Final Cut Pro. It's just Final Cut.
No, playing dumb is another thing. Like that's the opposite. Playing dumb to get out of things is.
Ooh. Crazy.
Yeah.
Like what?
What you guys did there, like we don't know better, like because people just feel sorry for you.
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you came across aggressively, like, it's not going to work. You know, they're not going to appreciate that.
Just got to give them a wink in there.
Your name still isn't here. The wink didn't make it here.
And then you're like, you do the thing where you take your jacket off.
And they're like, oh wait, your name is in fact here.
You guys need to do a little skit like that or something. It'd be hilarious. Hilarious.
The fact that he came up and danced with us, I love that guy.
Yeah, I love that. Crazy.
It's because you guys are so charming and likable.
If you just give him a smile, like
say what?
You guys didn't need to do anything.
Yeah, I know.
You guys are just a ray of sunshine, just bounce off each other. It's so cute, man. It's so cute.
Hell yeah.
Come on, man.
So cute, man. How could anyone resist?
Well, now for the Euros banquet coming up, hopefully no one watches this.
It's going to be like a full military security.
The banquet hates to see me coming. The banquet hates to see me coming. Man, even if they have a QR code, I'll find a way. Right. Any more questions come to mind for you?
No.
I was even scratched the surface.
Come on again.
Yeah, to be honest, you have stories to tell us when we turn this We'll definitely keep going. But as for the formal podcast.
You want to come on again?
Of course. Periodically. I'll just invoice you, yeah? First one was free.
We're invoicing you. You're on that Gladiator money. I don't know what you're talking about.
We allowed you on the pod. Not even a powerlifter anymore.
You're right. Can't argue with that logic.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on. An absolute pleasure as always. It's amazing to see all the moves you're making. I can't wait to see you in the WWE. Can't wait to see you in the movies.
Can't wait.
Just please don't forget about us when you're big time Hollywood famous.
Never. Yeah. I'll just block your numbers. You want your copy? Send me voice notes. No, it's like they're just not going through.
Oh, amazing. Right, I don't think I'm going to go to sleep tonight. I might just stay up trying to beat the clock.
Can we actually do that?
No! On that note, good night.